let me bring it back to the lesson, is God never argues. And if God is everything, then we shouldn't argue either, because we are manifestations of God. But do you know why? Do you know why we argue, friends? Do you know why we have arguments? Because we want someone to give us something that they're not willing to give. Just think about it. All an argument is we want somebody to give something to us that we think they should give us, and they are not willing to give it. And as a result, we get bent completely out of shape. When and we do this because of our spiritual ignorance, because the ignorance of the truth of our being. Ignorance simply means lacking the knowledge or comprehension of a specified thing. We don't know that we don't need anybody to give us anything. We already are it. If I know that I'm complete and whole in every way, if I'm filled with love, first of all, I got to really be filled with the idea of who and what I am. And so do we all do. You've got to be filled with the idea of, there was a lesson I had to learn. That before anything, I've got to love myself. I've got to be so completely in love with myself. I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about that kind of love. Old baby in the mirror and stuff. That's not the kind of love I'm on. I'm talking about love. I just love the fact that I'm on the planet, and that I have something to contribute, that I have something to do, that I'm about my Father's business. That's the kind of love I'm talking about, okay? That's the love I'm talking about. When I'm understanding that about myself, when I'm completely involved in that kind of loving myself and gratitude for who and what I am, what can anybody give me? Why can I get angry with somebody if they don't want to give me something? I'm filled with it already myself. My cup runneth over. And so must yours. My cup is already full. Pressed down. And running over. Don't you see what you have to do for yourself? It's an inside job. We have to work on ourselves. We have the power to change, and change we must. I was reading about the prodigal son this week. And it's a story about what we're talking about today, the story of the prodigal son. The prodigal son asked, in the Bible, Jesus tells this story, there was a father, a king, who had two sons. And one of the sons asked his father for his inheritance. Now, the word prodigal, I looked that up too, while I was looking up ignorance. And the word prodigal in the dictionary is defined by Webster as to squander or to be wasteful. So now here's a story Jesus telling about the prodigal son. The prodigal son, one of the two sons of this king, this father, asked his father for his inheritance. And his father didn't argue with him. His father did not argue. His father willingly, right on the spot, gave that particular son the half of his inheritance, and that son went out and wasted, squandered. The word prodigal means wasteful and to squander. That son went out and wasted and squandered his inheritance in a far country. And as a result, he found himself sleeping and eating and living with the swine, pigs, hogs, eating the husks of corn. He had sunk so low. He was eating the husks of corn, eating with the swine, sleeping with the swine, living with hogs and living with pigs, a life of filth and impoverishment. And one day the son woke up and he said, wait a minute, I do not have to live this way any longer. I don't have to do this. My father loves me. And so I know all that I have to do is go back to the father's house. And he did. He began the journey back to his father's house, back to the king's house. And the father saw him in the distance coming, saw the son coming. And the father ran to his servants. He went to his servants and he said, listen, my son is returning. He says, kill the fatted calf. Prepare, make him a seamless robe. Give him a ring. I want him to have everything. We're going to have a barbecue with some sauce and some potato salad and coleslaw and everything. I'm sure they had it then. It's probably where Woody got it from. He said, we're going to have a party. My son is returning home. My son is coming back. And they had a party. Well, do you know what that story is about? Just as every story in the Bible is about, that story is about us, friends. There is a time in our lives when we leave this sense of security. When life is not so good anymore. When they're doing this to us, and they're doing that to us, and they're not being this way like we want them to be to us, and they're not giving me this. And what we're doing is we're squandering, we're wasting our sense of joy and wholeness and completeness and goodness. We're wasting it and we're squandering it. And at some point we feel as though we're at our very wits' end. And we do not know which way to turn, nor do we know which way to go. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we are sleeping and eating and drinking with the swine of our minds. We're so depressed. We're so distraught. We're so confused. We don't know what's going on. We don't know which way to turn. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. Why doesn't something, how am I going to pay this bill? What is going to happen here? What's going to happen there with this individual somewhere that I'm dealing with? Or individuals or whatever. And then one day, when we bless ourselves, we wake up to the truth. And we say, listen, it's not necessary that I live this way. It's not necessary that I continue beating myself up. I'm going back to the realization that I am made in the image and likeness of God. That's going back to your Father's house. I'm going to be at peace with myself once again. It's all right what they do. It doesn't bother me. I have subjectified the idea that I am one with all that is good. And nothing or no one can change that. You know, there was a very dear spirit who came, a good friend of mine came to my office one day last week, and she wanted to counsel. She wanted to share some stuff with me and wanted me to share some ideas how she can deal with this particular situation. And she came in and she sat down and she began to tell me about this situation, about this person that she works with that stabs people in the back and smiles in their face. and this kind of stuff. Oh, and she's horrible. And she does this, and she does that. And she just seems like she's so wonderful when she's around you. But when she's behind you, oh my God. And she does this and she does that. You know what I told my friend? I listened to her for about a half hour. Till she was finished. I said, you through? She said, yes, I'm through. I said, do you know what you're doing? I said, let me share something with you. I said, your life is like a movie. It's just like a movie. Your life is like a movie. And do you know what you're doing? You're giving this person the starring role in your movie. You're making her the star. You're supposed to be the star. She's supposed to be an extra. Way in the background somewhere, just walking by. Not the star. You're making her the star in your movie called life. Don't you understand what I'm telling you? We're ignorant of this truth. Ignorance simply means lacking the knowledge or comprehension of a specific thing. And most of us, we have college degrees, many of us do, and we professionals, we're doctors and lawyers and school teachers and nurses, and we have all of this great knowledge and of all our, whatever our field is, but most of us are ignorant to the truth of our being. That's what I'm talking about. We don't know that we have already been made in God's image and after God's likeness. And that's so wonderful and that's so beautiful. And once we recognize this and declare it and subjectify it and become one with the idea, nothing can harm us. Absolutely nothing. And so how do we do this? We must enlarge, if you will, the picture that we have of ourselves. Most of us, the picture that we have of ourselves, you've seen those passport photos, about that big. About 1 inch by 1 inch. You've got to blow the image, enlarge the image of yourself up so large till you can't go around it, you can't go under it, nor can you go over it. All an argument is, friends, is we want somebody to give us something that they're not willing to give. And once we recognize and realize that what we want them to give, we already are, because nothing can be added to us, nor can anything be taken from us. We already are whole and complete in every way, because we are made of the substance of that which God is. If we could just grasp that idea and unite with it, become one with it, let the roots grow deep down in your soul. You have to work at it. You have to work on yourself. You have to enlarge and enhance and expand the awareness of your true being. That right where you are, God is. It makes no difference where you go. You're standing on holy ground because God is in you, and right where you are, God is. There is not a spot where God is not. Why? Because you're there. See what I'm saying? It's so simple. It's so simple. There's a great saxophone player, Lester Young, who was putting a band together to go out on the road, and he was auditioning musicians. And someone sent him this 17-year-old phenomenon, this phenom, this drummer, 17 years old, this phenom. He had all the technical stuff down. And so his prayers, this giant, this this legend, this great musician who'd been around for eons and knew everything about music. So this young 17-year-old phenom is coming in to audition to go on the road with Lester Young, with Prez, and he set his drums up, and he was just do a little bit of that for me. You know what I'm talking about, Tony. Do a little bit. You know, just spank. You know, with the sticks. You know, just all over the place. Yeah. So Lester Young walked up to this young man and said, hold it. He said, that's not what I want. He said, this is what I want. Just give me ding, 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 ding. That's what I want. Just ding, 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 ding. It's so simple. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Chief. Life is so simple. We don't need to go bang, bang, bang. It's just ding da ding, ding da ding, ding da ding, ding da ding. All through the day, all through the night. Ding da ding, ding da ding, ding da playing, ding da playing, ding da playing. So is the lesson. And so it is. Sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad. Whoa. Sing of happy, not sad. No, I want you to sing. Sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing, sing a song. Listen, come on, sing. Sing a song, say it, sing out loud, sing out strong, say it, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, well, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad, sing of happy, not sad, no, just say it, sing. Sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long, to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough, don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song, Come on, everybody. Help us now. Say it. It's all right. Say it. All right. Yeah. Sing of good things, not bad. Hey, well, sing of happy, not sad. Come on, sing a song. Hey, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't you worry that it's not good enough for anyone else. Just sing. That's Kevin Tony, if you will. Kevin Tony. Come on, Mark. Yeah, T. I love you, man. Hey. Come on. Hey. Come on, Mom. Cargill. Mark Cargill. Yeah, Mark. Come on, Kev. It's Kevin Brandon. Kevin Brandon. Yeah, Kevin. Come on, T. Come on, T. Come on, get it. Hey! Tony Lewis, come on now. The Sunday Morning Band. Top. Well, sing a song. Come on. Sing out loud. Well, sing out strong. Yeah. Sing of good things, not bad. Come on now. I want you to just sing up happy, not sad. No, 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 no. Sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. And don't you worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. You just sing. Come on, sing. I want you to sing. Everybody sing. Come on now, sing. You just sing. Well, sing a song. Yeah. Hey. Thank you. Thank you very much. The Sunday Morning Band. If you will. Thank you so much. Once again, so ends the lessons. Think about it. And so it is. I'm going to keep on practicing. I don't want to ever forget my oneness with God. And don't you either, okay? Don't ever forget who and what you are. Don't ever forget your oneness with the universe. It empowers you. It makes you powerful. Just by remembering it and uniting with the idea. There's power in an idea. Unite with the idea of your oneness and your greatness. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. Oh, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.